In this tutorial, we will be discussing the relationship between energy and nutrition, and in doing so, we'll be looking at kilocalories and kilojoules embedded in food. So how exactly do we measure the amount of energy a food has? We can use something called a calorimeter. You may also hear it called a bomb calorimeter, but there's different variations of calorimeters. Either way, the majority of these instruments are basically heating up water and seeing how much energy that water absorbs by how much the temperature rises. So if we look at a picture of a calorimeter here, this in particular is considered a bomb calorimeter. Around it is an insulated plastic, so that way all the energy that's given off will remain inside the container. In here, we have a metal container that has oxygen in it. And we have these wires here called ignition wires that we light, or we stir up the electricity. And then this sample then catches on fire, and the heat that's given off by this sample is then absorbed into the water, and then the temperature rises as the energy is given off. We notice the temperature rising because of the thermometer sitting right here. The only purpose of this stir is to mix up the water to make sure that the heat is dispersed equally throughout. So, bottom line, the sample's caught on fire, heat's given off and put into the water, and then we see the temperature go up with a thermometer. And by doing that, we can determine how much energy was there to begin with. Alright, so how is energy actually measured? Well, in America, we use calories. So when we're looking at a food label here, when we say 4 grams, and we say that there is 120 calories in this whole thing, we're talking about food calories. Now, food calories and kilojoules are not the same thing. There's 4.184 kilojoules in every food calorie. They abbreviate food calorie with a capital C. That automatically means it's kilocalories. So when we're looking at labels, and we see here that, let's say, some food has 1 gram of carbohydrates. For every 1 gram of carbohydrates, there's 4 kilocalories, or 4 food calories. If we were to calculate this out, you see here, in 1 calorie, it's 4.184 kilojoules. So, 4 calories over 1, and every 1 calorie, there's 4.184 kilojoules. Because of that, that then equals 16.74 kilojoules. That gets rounded up to 17. Same with proteins. Carbohydrates and proteins have the same amount of calories associated with it. Fat actually has more. Fat has 9 calories per gram rather than just 4. And as we get into organic chemistry towards the end of the semester, we'll talk about the actual chemical differences between these two categories and explain why fat is actually more calories. But anyway, so 9 calories. For every 9 calories, 4.184 kilojoules per calorie. That comes out to be 37.656, and that's why they rounded up to 38 kilojoules per gram. Alright, so when you're given your ingredients, when you're given the grams per particle, it's easy to figure out how many calories are associated with it. So let's take a look at whole milk. It's 13 grams of carbohydrates. When we look back here at the list, we see that carbohydrates is 4 calories per gram. So in every 1 gram, there's 4 calories. So 13 times 4 comes out to be 52 calories. We can do the same thing with fat. So we have 9 grams of fat. When we look at the list, there's 9 calories per gram. So in every 1 gram, there's 9 calories. That comes out to be 81 calories. And then finally, we have 9 grams of protein. And there's 4 calories in every gram of protein. And that comes out to be 36. We add these 3 values up, and it comes out to be approximately 169, which then, because of 2 significant figures, will round us up to 170 kilocalories. And that's how you associate nutrition with energy.